And that's another thing that's funny about this. They didn't even try to de-age her. She's so old.
No, hell no.
What's that?
Hell, they ain't trying to de-age him either.
Man, they tried to de-age.
Well, he's got cancer. I mean, it works for him, but his cancer, because he looks really sick.
Man, listen, I got something funny here. They tried to de-age.
Yeah, I remember when they tried to de-age him in the other movie?
Yeah.
Threw a baseball cap on his ass.
Let me see.
I don't know if I saw that. But I did hear
It was
about
hilarious.
Man. So they had a flashback one time. They had a flashback with this fool, and he was supposed to be de-aged by 20 years. They put a hoodie and a backwards cap on his ass.
No.
And I think if you scroll down, he got a skateboard.
Oh, shit. Just like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, there he is. That's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
20 years ago. How old am I, sir? I'm 23. I just got my driver's license. He knew that shit was funny. Look at it. What I really want you to do is check out this banner for Double Toasted Live in Los Angeles. Press that banner. It'll take you to x1entertainment.com where you can get your tickets now. It's been a while, but old Jiggums is back. Yeah, get Jiggums with it, y'all. Yeah, the original trap artists out there, man. Yeah, people been waiting for the return of Jiggums. That's what his friends call it.
Is that right?
Yeah, believe me, I'm trying to be his friend. But if you call,
all you gotta do is live your life right.
Yeah, no, but that don't even work. I've seen these movies. It got to the point they just start killing people because it was fun. I just like building traps. I know it didn't make sense anymore. His friends call him Jiggums like I do. Oh, Jiggums, man. But hey, if you call him Jigsaw, oh, that might be trouble. That might be trouble because Jigsaw, a.k.a. Tricycle Man, a.k.a. John Kramer, and that's the real guy. John Kramer's back. How can he be back? That man's died about 5 times already. And died the same death over and over again.
Well, it's always cancer.
Yeah, it's always cancer. It's always a flashback. So what we doing now? Well, some people are saying that for the true fans out there, this is truly Saw 2. If you want to go chronological order right here.
Yeah.
And this time we get to learn a little bit more about John Kramer and his battle with cancer. Turns out that he found out that there's a treatment over in Mexico. That's never good. How can this man sit up here and build these genius traps and can't figure out that going to Mexico for a treatment is a fraud?
The minute somebody came to him and said, no, I got this miracle treatment. They won't allow it in the U.S. It's only one doctor overseas. I was like, scam, dude. Look up Andy Kaufman. People fall for shit like this.
They trapped your ass.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Put him in his own trap.
That damn puppet might have told you about that shit. If you go to Mexico, they got a miracle cure. Okay. Yeah, so they got his ass. So what does he do? That's pretty much what they said. Hey, they said, come to Mexico where it's actually outlawed. It's a miracle treatment nobody's ever heard of before. And John Kramer, the genius behind these traps, he says, okay, I guess I'll play a game. So he decides to go to Mexico and get this done. Surprise, surprise, it's a fraud.
Make sure they run a game on it.
They should.
Oh, boy, they ran an amazing game on him.
But that's what my man said. Oh, games?
Yeah. You got games.
Oh,
huh?
y'all got games. Oh, y'all want to play some goddamn games, huh? All right, let's play some goddamn games. Turns out all these people that crossed him, and these are the people that really deserve it. These are people who are actually, they kill people with this scam they got going on. So he says, you know what? If there was ever a time for old Jiggums to be justified and trapping people and possibly killing them, it is now, especially when they mess with me. Sounds cool, but hey, listen, we've all done this before. We've even seen a movie where he did go after people in the medical industry, even though that was insurance. These movies have been involved varying quality, as any long-running series and franchise has been known to do. How does this fare? Well, don't need to tell you. You saw how I performed this weekend. You heard all the reviews and read all the reviews. People are really liking this. Mm-hmm. For some reason, though, Martin and I, we've been some of the harshest critics on these
Oh
movies.
yeah, absolutely.
Including the first one.
They thought it was ridiculous. A laugh riot, an unintentional laugh riot.
Why so serious, Mark? He's like, what's so funny about this, Mark? Look at this damn puppet on a tricycle. What you mean ridiculous?
Don't put your ass in the trap next.
I was
talking that shit,
laughing my
Martin.
ass off in that first one.
You mean you can't take me seriously, Mark?
Star 11, Star Martin.
Yeah. You've laughed at my movies for years. What the so funny?
Man, you better get this shit off me.
Live or die.
Why are you trying to laugh
Beat
at
your little
that?
ass.
Well, how do we feel about this one? The harshest critics in the world on this series right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Saw X.
According to these scans, the tumor was never removed.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done.
He being told he's gonna die. He's still coming up with traps.
Still coming up with traps, man. Shit, he said, I'm gonna trap till I die.
Live or die. The choice is yours.
Even over the years, looking back at the first Saw movie, I've come to kind of respect it. I mean, it definitely was an original idea, and listen, whether you like these movies or not, it's left a lasting impact on the fans that love this series. So, and they were smart about it too. They were perfect Halloween movies. Saw used to dominate October, man, when it would come out.
Cheap budget.
Yeah. So, I've grown to respect, the first movie. That doesn't mean it speaks for all movies in there. They, again, varying quality when you have so many films. I mean, what, to 10 now? Is that?
That's what the X is.
That's what the X is.
Yeah. So, looking at this one, man, I agree with people. And this is, I don't like to look at reviews, as I said before, I do a review, but it took so long for us to get to this one that I went ahead and looked at what some people were saying. And then after watching the movie, I have to agree with people that the thing that probably works to this movie's advantage over all the other films is Tobin Bell, man.
Yes, yeah.
And the thing is, I've always liked Tobin Bell.
He's always been the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Why they had him in each movie so very little?
Because
He died.
Yeah, he died.
So they gotta try to find ways to put him in there.
So they shot themselves in the foot by doing that.
So they killed him off, and then they said,
The funny thing is, there was an article that came out that said, like, yo, it was one of the writers that was like, yeah, we made a mistake killing him off.
Yeah.
Like, no shit.
Yeah, they said, God damn it. So now they're realizing that he's dead, but he was the best part of the movie. So they are one of the best things about the movie. So they keep writing ways to bring him back.
Yeah.
But this one they said, you know what? Let's stop doing flashbacks. I mean, and what took you so goddamn long? I mean, if he's one of the best parts of the movie, why not make a movie centered on him?
Yeah.
And that's what this movie did. This movie centers on him. And the thing with Tobin Bell is one of those guys in horror where he found something that he owns. He owns his character. He's a horror icon now. This is his character. No one will ever be another Jigsaw. No matter how many like assistants and students and copycats out there, they'll never match up to what they do with this guy right here. And the reason why is because, as ridiculous as all this may seem, Tobin Bell as John Kramer takes this role very seriously.
He sells it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, and so again, make no mistake, man. Jigsaw, aka John Kramer, he's a slasher. But one of the things I could say about him is that he's one of the few slashers with humanity. He's one of the few slashers that seems to.
Yeah, that's
now,
true.
it could be argued, to his morals can be argued, but he, as far as somebody who kills his victims, Michael Myers don't care about his victims. Jason don't care about them. Freddy sure don't care. He'll kill your ass and make a joke about it.
Right.
John Kramer seems to care, and that's one of the things that is really an asset of having him in here. You are now making a story about a slasher that humanizes his character and actually shows some sympathy for his victims.
I want to play a game. My job is to bring humanity to John Kramer.
And we go back to what I think the audience.
I like what you got to say.
Jigsaw for real.
He's close.
He does look like a ventriloquist dummy.
What is that? I'm gonna try something. I just love the reason why I've loved all these movies I have not liked. Some of them I do. The one with the people in the health insurance.
Which one was
I
that?
think that was like 4.
That's 5. That's 6.
Five.
That's 6.
6. Okay.
That's 6.
There's too many of these goddamn movies.
Yeah, I told you.
That's 10.
that one I liked, man. That one I liked. But you know, I've always loved Tobin Bell, man. And you know, the reason why I love this character is because I love the way his calm nature is in contrast to all these crazy, violent, gore-ass traps that he makes. You know, and I think that's what makes him interesting because
it humanizes him as opposed to Freddy and Jason in the lot and all. And he has a code. And no matter how much you don't like a character, it can make you be on their side if they have a code.
Right.
Yeah.
That said, when he's got people in those things, and I go like, listen, I know they did wrong, but you're a psychopath that you can do this and just sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does feel bad for some people.
He don't feel bad enough to not put it in the trash. Man, you hook me up with something like that and tell me you feel bad about it. I'm like, you.
He has to rehabilitate them.
Listen to yourself.
You can't even say the word.
I know, I can't
you
get
got
it
to
out.
rehabilitate them.
I can't get it out. But you know
got
what I
to
mean?
rehabilitate them.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
He's gotta cleanse them.
I'm gonna talk about that in a minute because like I said, I love this character. But the movie's still silly as shit, okay? I mean, this man is dying of cancer, but builds a whole game show set.
We dying of cancer?
No,
You got the camera on us.
This man, look, he's going to work right now. Hell yeah. This man's dying of cancer. Like, yeah, shit, I'm trapping. Look at this man is dying from cancer. He builds a whole game show set of traps that would take a construction crew to make. And I know he's in Mexico where the labor is cheap, but goddamn, man.
Yeah, what's he going to do with all the laborers when they get done? Yeah. No, that was the thing, because I got to say that I did like this movie. As a matter of fact, as someone who hasn't seen I've seen maybe 4 Saw movies. To me, this is the best one at least I got into the most. But I was like, now, these other traps he's done before, okay, he had years to put that together. But this, he had on a few days. He weren't going to be in Mexico for a long time.
I mean,
really, he had like a day and a half.
Yeah. Now, I imagine, I'm going to let it slide and say that he found a way to stay. But God damn it, the man is coughing, eyes all red.
Yeah.
You know, he's skinny as hell. You think his skinny ass is out there carrying planks and shit, building these traps?
Right. All that big heavy metal machinery.
All that metal and everything. I mean, this man built a 2-story lair in a warehouse somewhere. Ordering illegal chemicals and shit. I mean, how the f is this man doing this? Now, again, I'm not trying to bring no logic of brain work into this. I'm gonna be like that man you saw in that trailer. I'm gonna just go into my brain, just carve that shit out, and just leave it. Because now we talking about, you know how Joker escapes and he builds like a whole goddamn lair in a day. Yeah. You know, but complete with props and giant toys and shit. You know, that's what this man does. He's like the Joker, our Batman villain. Like, this man can just, for some reason, find some henchmen on the spot and build a goddamn toy store in a day.
Got cameras and
everything.
It's not in the same place where they did the operation on him?
No, it's different spot.
Okay.
He randomly found that spot.
Yeah. No, he leasing that or something. But and that's been in every movie. All right, how this man getting this much time to build all these elaborate traps? Okay,
but the one thing about his traps are that they're the most winnable out of everybody else's.
What, these traps here?
Yeah.
No, they ain't.
No, they ain't. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. We'll get into that because I got something to say about that. Okay. But to your point about what kind of guy he is, I have to say I really enjoy how manipulative the movie is. Because some people, they and you one of them, they say,
what?
Well, I really have sympathy for John Kramer. And I'm like, and I'm just kind of like, this guy, man.
Man, it was either him or the other people.
No.
Those not your only choices.
Let me tell you why. Because John Kramer, and this is a good debate to have right here. John Kramer, to me, all right, is not sympathetic. Okay,
I know he's a serial killer.
He's a psychopath, man. This fool daydreams all day about trapping people. This fool, he just looking. He just spends his time just looking out the window waiting for somebody. so you can trap them, man.
I do love that in the beginning with it.
Yeah, we don't want to say too much.
No, I
but
don't want to say that, but just somebody almost got it. Just 'cause
Oh, yeah,
he
he's
was
daydreaming that shit.
no, man, listen, this fool, he'll murder your ass just for shoplifting, man. You know, I mean, it's like, what? Okay, what the your morals?
You have the ability to not only save your soul today, but your sight.
Okay, all this man was doing was just stealing. It's petty theft.
He stole like what? He stole a watch.
He stole a watch.
Yeah,
You know,
a watch.
see, this man just stole a watch. This
Throw that to the trash.
This shit don't merit being put in a trap, breaking your fingers and having your eyeball pulled out. That shit don't make any sense.
That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. They go like, well, you do the crime, you do the time. It's like, no, man. That is not the punishment. There's no law book that says, at least not in America, that says if you steal, then you got to lose your fingers and your eyes.
When you see someone stealing, you know what you can do? You can call. He saw this shit. So my man saw this shit at a hospital. You know what you do? You call the manager.
Yeah.
You get him fired.
Yeah.
Or you call the police.
Yeah.
You don't put somebody with a goddamn vacuum cleaner eyeballs and wires on their fingers. See, it's this kind of shit that he ain't doing this shit for morals. This kind of thing gets his dick hard.
Yeah,
you know, he gets out. He's got a fetish.
Because it's excessive. Not only is it excessive to do that to somebody, look at all that has to be set up for that.
I mean, you know what you do? When you see somebody doing something, you pull them aside and talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, I saw what you did. I'm going to give you a chance to do the right thing, or else I'm going to have to call the manager. You know, you don't put them in no goddamn trap.
or you just call the manager.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to play the guy with some morals, I'm going to give you a chance to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Off with this. You are not. You're not a good person. You're not doing. No, this is a fetish for you. Jigsaw. He jacks off to this, man.
I bet that dude will learn better next time.
No, he won't.
Yeah. See, at that point, the lesson is lost.
Shit, he might have created a supervillain right there. Some of these games, man, these games are bullshit. All right, I'm gonna let you know why, because. I have it on this clip. I'm not going to tell you what this guy's fate is right here. But the thing is, man, some people, he gives them a task to do. And they do it. As horrible and painful as it is, they succeed and do it. But because they didn't do it by a second, they missed a few seconds.
They were screaming too much.
All of a sudden, he got, listen, if that gets to a point, you cutting off pieces of your body and all that kind of shit, man, you got to say, all right, you win, all right? You know, you got the point.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's what it is. It's like, okay, at that, you got the point. Because if you go like, you missed it by a second, it's like, well, then what you're teaching me is to do it faster, not to not do what I did.
No, the people did. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, and he like, well, shit, now you 30 seconds off. No, why not? You know, it's like, I mean, they about 30 seconds. Like, some people have, like, they missed it by 2 seconds. I mean, it was some negligible shit that they did. And they got to die over that shit. I was like, man, you, dog, this dude, Jigsaw got to go.
Well, it's also the thing where, like, when somebody has to cut a body part off, I was like, even if you got that done in time, you're going to die for losing a big body part like that.
Yeah. Well, he has a plan.
Oh, he always got a plan.
Yeah, he got a plan to come in and save them before it hits that point. He's like, I got you. You know,
there's some things you can't, they're not so easy to just
I mean,
lop off.
Listen, this mother don't care nothing about reform, okay? This shit gets him off. It's a fetish for him. You know, he likes seeing some of these people die. He likes making traps.
Yes.
He's addicted to just making these traps. Like I said, he's just sitting around. He look at the window, just like, hey, I'm gonna get your ass. You jaywalking. Oh shit.
With some legs.
Yeah, because if these people hadn't ripped him off, he'd be looking at a waiter who brought him soup that was cold.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, you have to learn how to do your job.
Oh yeah.
You're not living to your full potential.
Yeah. Shit, they'd be looking at more than lawn. Oh, you missed a spot. He put him in a goddamn lawnmower trap. No, it was just a blade of grass. You got to mow your fingers off.
That even makes sense.
Live or die.
Okay, goddamn it. How many seconds?
It give you like a minute to do that shit too.
It doesn't make any sense. He's not. You know what? He's like I look at him and I say he's like my boy here. Shit, they should make a movie together. These two characters. He's like my boy Denzel in Equalizer 3, man. Like they're both psychopaths. They're both slashers. They both kill people in horrible ways, but they think they're doing something moral, and they think they're helping people. Like, y'all just like killing people, man.
And they're trying to manipulate the audience and going along.
Yeah. I mean, these people got it coming, but I like that.
And that was the thing in this movie. They're like, listen, I know I don't like them either, but man, this is too much.
This says something about you more than what they're doing right here. You're both y'all are crazy, okay?
Like, I mean, they're wrong for doing that, but maybe you deserved it.
Yeah, man. He's you know, they think they're out there avenging people and righting wrongs. No, you're crazy. Yeah, man, you're all insane. And, you know, and that's one of the things that, again, I like this aspect of the movie, though, because it really gets the debates going with this character, because the character in his mind, he really does think that he's doing the right thing for people. Even she like, come on, man.
Amanda, the worst out of everybody.
Amanda, yeah. She is. That's Shawnee Smith as Amanda, who's returning character. Even with her, she's like, Jesus, Jigsaw, come on, man. Lighten up.
Come on, not her.
Yeah, she doesn't paint the shit herself.
And if you can't handle this, how will you handle the rest of our work?
Which means you better shut the
Put
your ass in a trap. Yeah. Look, I thought we went through this before.
Get the bear trap again.
Shit, you might not be so lucky next time. Walk out there with no bottom jaw. You better shut the you better get back to work.
So what's the history of Amanda with him?
She was a victim.
She was the first. She was like one of the first victims.
Yeah,
okay.
But she felt like she felt like
it actually worked on her.
Yeah, she felt reformed. She was a drug addict.
Okay.
And afterwards, she felt like, wow, he taught me a life lesson. So, but she better shut.
She was a drug addict, so he put her in a bear trap.
Sure, that tracks.
Hey, scared ass straight some shit
all these bears, all these rehab programs. Yeah. They start using his techniques.
Yeah, they try to put her in rehab and they try to give her no medicine or anything. Put a goddamn bear trap on her head and told her, bitch, get right.
Oh, well, now that you put it this way.
Get clean. Shit. I hate to see Jigsaw have an AA meeting. Wait, what? All right, I won't drink no more. Yeah, man. And that's another thing that's funny about this. They didn't even try to de-age her. She's old.
No.
What's that?
Hell, they ain't tried to de-age him either.
Man, they tried to de-age.
Well, he's got cancer. I mean, it works for him, but his cancer, because he looks really sick.
Man, listen, I got something funny here. They tried to de-age.
Yeah, I remember when they tried to de-age him in the other movie. They threw a baseball cap
on
his ass.
Let me see.
I don't know if I saw that. But I didn't hear
It was
about it.
hilarious.
Man. So they had a flashback one time. They had a flashback with this fool, and he's supposed to be de-aged by 20 years. They put a hoodie and a backwards cap on his ass.
No.
And I think if you scroll down, he got a skateboard.
Oh, shit. Just like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, there he is. That's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
20 years ago. How old am I, sir? I'm 23. I just got my driver's license. He knew that shit was funny. Look at it. I will say that I think what works for all these movies, really, why it's been so long lasting, even through the bad ones, I think what works and really works well here is that the traps really are suspenseful, man.
They are.
Yeah,
No,
And I was squirming.
there's this feeling of dread when you first see them, because you don't know what. Man, all you see is a bunch of tubes, wires, and blades, and so you're like, Jesus, what the f are they about to do to this person? I mean, them up clearly, but what is going to happen? You know, what is the thing? What's the task that this person's going to have to do? Because the traps are sick, man, and it just goes to show you just how crazy John Kramer is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter how soft-spoken this guy's demeanor is, he's sick. He's a crazy person inside, man. And I like that about the traps. Like I said, I like the contrast between them and this guy right here. But even more than John Kramer, boy, you don't want to see that saw puppet. You don't want to see Jiggums Jr. when you want them traps, because if that puppet comes out, that means you in a bad one. You won the
so what?
Yeah, you won the trap lottery with this one. Oh no, not Jiggums Jr. Oh shit. Oh, don't tell. I got the puppet. Shit. I love this shot coming up.
You're not gonna what?
I'm playing.
So what was he had? Those are things to electrocute him.
Yeah.
So these traps. Like when I saw that, I was just like, Jesus, man, I don't even want to know what would happen to him.
Hilarious though.
Yeah.
But to the whole build and everything, it's like, man, he's sent to have his tricycle and his puppet sent down to Mexico too. Because he didn't travel there with it. Well, unless he does.
No, but they showed the origin. They showed the origin of kind of the puppet, at least a tricycle. There was a scene in there. They showed him like, "Oh shit, this is a tricycle. Cool. I got somebody I want to get this to." He was making it.
He was working on it.
Yeah. Speaking of ridiculous, man. As again with typical Saw fashion, the ending of this is just insanely ridiculous. Because Jigsaw has a big plan, and he was so confident about it. And look, as much as he planned this out, all of it was hinging on luck. Like everything had none of this shit was. A lot of it was just random.
Yeah. I mean, he does have something of an explanation, which I appreciated. But it was like, man, this could have easily have gone wrong
in so many places. But listen, I don't want you to think, because I keep talking about silly and ridiculous, I don't want you to think I don't get it, man. Because this is made for the people that have followed this series for 10 movies now. And they've all been kind of crazy. So, I mean, what am I going to say now that hasn't already been said about the insanity of these films and how they don't have any logic behind them, how they don't make sense? I mean, that's not what people are there for at this point. If we're going to go there with that, then this is probably, like you were saying, I think this is, depending on who you ask, some people love the first movie. To me, this is like the best one out of all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The same thing.
Because the reason why they paid attention to what made those other successful films, what made them the better films in the series, right down to even shooting this on 35 millimeter, up in the colors that made this thing stand out, all the grays and the ambers and all that kind of stuff. I might not think the characters, I might question his morality, but there's something I love about a slasher who will try to kill you and then might take you to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah. There's something to be appreciated about that.
Yeah, he's the only slasher that will actually come in and say, "I got you, man. Let me help you."
He's human.
Well, he's fair, at least, in as much as, you managed to survive. You made your way.
Yeah.
I will hold up my end and take care of you.
Yeah.
That's something happened to Amanda.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you.
That's where they lost their way with a lot of these movies. They thought it was about the traps. They thought it was about making it crazy characters. And it's not about that. It's about story, believe it or not, with this. Yeah. And really the best stories in here are revenge stories. Mm-hmm. That's what made the health insurance movie, Saw 6, so good. And this is definitely a revenge story right here. So yeah, I like this, man. I at this point, you in for it for what it is. And it's a great time for a movie like this, being that it's October. Yeah, I give it a matinee, man. If I would give it a low matinee, it's just because, again, it's a little silly for me still. But no, I give it a matinee. I liked it.
I feel like in a franchise, you can't get to the 10th movie and expect restraint. Like, everybody's been around. They want it amped up each time. You got to outdo the craziness of what came before. That being said, I feel like this did have some restraint. It wasn't like so many of those other Saw movies. They just seem like very schlocky. They're all about like you said, they're all about the traps. Besides the question of the morality of John here, there's also something I thought about with they don't really touch on it, but sort of a class struggle kind of thing. Maybe not class struggle, but like all these people he has in there, like people who work this con. Some of them are just poor. Like they didn't do it with any kind of malice. They was just like they were in a poor condition and they just wanted to get in on some money. And that really, like, they don't explore that, but I was like, that's a thing to really bring up is like, how much you want to do this? Like this woman who set this up, this blonde bitch, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But some of these people, like the
They
drug
don't-
addicts,
they don't
like,
deserve
I
it as
don't know,
much,
like,
yeah.
they don't deserve to be in this.
Yeah, I think that's something that the movie actually wants you to explore. I don't think their goal is to make you root for John Kramer. I think their goal is to he just have this character do what he does. You see it through his eyes, and you make up your mind about how far he's going with this. Like he's going too far, which yes, he is going too far.
Yeah. No matter how much you're like, get them. There's a point when you're like, what are we doing
This
here?
part of this, though, I think they want you to come away saying they don't want you to feel too much for this guy. He's insane,
Right.
and he's crazy. And once you see how bad these traps are, and how there are varying degrees. Nothing for John Kramer, things are black and white.
Right.
If you commit a crime, I'm making a trap. Which is why I like to say he's addicted to that shit. But I think the movie is trying to say he doesn't see gray, which is what makes him crazy.
I wonder about that because the only person really even calling him on it is Amanda.
Yeah.
But even when she does it, she comes off as whiny, and she should be more the voice of reason.
Well, she's a victim of his too. She's just a different victim because now she's following pretty much a cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. But I gotta say, watching it, it was a point where I was like, oh, I'm settled into it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. It's a matinee. It's verging on a high matinee for what it is.
Man, I love this one. This is by far. Yeah. Look, and I'm not
He
gonna.
be trapping, boy.
Yeah, look, I ain't capping. This is definitely the best Saw movie. This one has the best characters, man. John Kramer is the best he's been in any other Saw film. Amanda, she's written way better than she was in any other Saw film. Some traps are straight bullshit. Like there is some traps where certain things happen in the traps, and the traps kind of adjust to what the person is doing. Like there's a specific trap that it happens to, and I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. How would he know that a specific person's gonna do that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man.
I'm like, how did he know that was gonna happen?
Yeah.
But the traps were just they're cool to look at, and they're creative as fuck. So I'm like, I just enjoy just watching the traps and how they play out. Man, for this being the longest Saw movie, I felt like the pacing was the best I've seen in what? What?
No, I'm sorry. Pixie sat down and just started looking at Joe like for no reason. She was about to trap his ass.
Look at you, bitch.
She just sat down, and then Joe looked at me like, "What's the bitch want?" Like, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean. I was not trying to interrupt you.
But for this one being the longest Saw movie, man, I didn't feel the runtime. I feel like the pacing was definitely the best in this one. They found a way to make a serial killer a hero in my eyes in a certain way.
See, man, they're not doing their job as far as teaching morals with these things.
No, he just don't know.
I know. And the way they did it, I know because they had to make somebody a super villain, and that's how you do it. But look, I had a ton of fun watching this movie. I'm gonna end up watching this movie again. I give this a damn full price, man.
It is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, the point of these movies is to be as fucked up as possible. So, again, we're not going in here actually, looking for complete arguments about morality and everything, even though it's there. It's dead. And if you want to talk about something to be respected here, this is a slasher film. And this is a very different kind of slasher. And how many slasher movies do you go in and argue the morality of the slasher?
True. Very true.
So this is really good, man. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I was able to see it. I had a good time with it. So there you go. 2 matinees and full price right there.